I might only be 15 years old, but just about a year ago, I made a completely at-home workout routine requiring barely any equipment, which not only has helped my body, but also proved to me has several health benefits. I don't care if you're a beginner or a 50-year-old, but this routine, which I still stick to today, has helped me start working out and will hopefully help you too, even if it requires you to change it up a bit. Now, this routine consists mainly of body weight, but also some resistance training with using additional weights and dumbbells. But if you don't have this, what I simply do is use a school bag or any backpack, fill it up with heavy books or anything heavy, or just find whatever works. It is completely beginner friendly, and I would even recommend changing up the workouts a bit to suit your level and needs. So without further ado, I'm Eddie G, and let me reveal to you this personal training routine which I created as a 15-year-old student. For starting out, I recommend doing at least 4 to 5 days a week. I started with 5, but now I do 4, typically around an hour each day. Monday is day 1, where I do upper body and abs. Day 2, Tuesday, is legs. Wednesday, I take as a recovery day. Day 3, Thursday, is HIIT or high intensity interval training or full body. And day 4, Friday, I hit arms. On Saturday, I'll usually try and get some cardio in or martial arts. And then on Sunday, I'll take as another recovery day, but maybe with some leisurely physical activities like walking, but I'll share my full exercise routine in a later video. Now feel free to change the days to suit you and dedicate a specific time each day to do it. Now remember, especially beginners, try to keep at least 2 days off the week to recover, and maybe if you have time, do some leisurely physical activities like walking or jogging. Now a frequently asked question is about stretching, whether to do it during, before, or after a workout, and how to do it. So there are 2 types of stretching, dynamic stretching and static stretching. Some people might already be a bit familiar with them, but dynamic stretching is more like a warm-up before your workout, which you do to get your blood flowing a little bit. Then you might also add in any warm-up exercise of your choice along with this. Static stretching, however, is the typical holding stretch where you hold it for around 30 seconds each. You must only do static stretching after a workout instead of before, because it may reduce strength and performance, but also it may increase the risk of injury. That is why this part is very, very important. So warm up and dynamic stretching before a workout and static stretching after a workout. You can find examples of each type online, but some dynamic stretches include arm circles, torso twists, or reverse lunges. And some static stretches include toe touches for your hamstrings, pulling your foot for your quads, chest and shoulder openers, or the hip flexor stretch. Another important key point is to breathe during your workouts, as this will help deliver oxygen to your muscles and will prevent you from burning out too quickly. It also helps to keep a steady heart rate and calm your mind throughout. So day 1, upper body and abs. Let's go through this workout. These are a few pages in which I wrote down each workout and a couple of extra notes. And I have this written as workout number 2 because I did change it up once after I first started. So I've listed each exercise on this, including the warm-up and cool down. The writing in red is the number of sets and reps that I do for each exercise, and this is definitely something you can change. And the green numbers on the side is how long each break is between each exercise. So let's look through this workout. Warm-up number 1, I do jumping jacks, which I do every single workout, then a brief dynamic stretching. Number 1, for all the upper body, push-ups times 50. Nowadays, I do 30 seconds straight up push-ups, then another 20 reps. Then number 2, close grip push-ups, a bit closer, different style, diamond push-ups, archer push-ups. Then we have all of abs, sit-ups, V-ups, elbow to knee, bicycle crunch, flutter kicks, Russian twists, plank, and side plank, all of abs. Then we move on to pull-ups, chin-ups, bench dip, and Superman, which we move on to like back. Then we finish it off with a bit of stretching, that is static stretching. I do understand that not a lot of people will be able to do pull-ups, chin-ups, and that is fine. You can change it with any other exercise or find a bar anywhere you can and use that. So I thought I would do a quick overview of what I do in heavy currently. So we click on to upper body and abs, which is day 1. And here is an overview of what we do, or what I do right now. For some people, this may be easy, this may be hard, but obviously, I'm just consistent, and that is how I managed to grow. And there we have it. So now we move on to day 2, leg day. I also forgot to mention, if you do have any other equipment, most certainly use it in your workouts. So, leg day. Warm up, I have jumping jacks, which I said I do every single time, then some dynamic stretching. And number 1, high knees. Number 2, glute kicks. Number 3, squats, lateral squats, jump squats, pistol squat. That is kind of hard. If you do not want to do that, you don't need to. Lunges, jumping lunge, standing calf raise. This can be weighted squats, which I do. I don't know why that's in brackets. I wrote this a long time ago. And then number 10, leg swings, which is sort of more of a stretching. And then stairs. I run up and down stairs 14 times, or as many as you want, and try to increase through progressive overload each time. And then finish it off with static stretching. So now here's a brief overview of what I do on leg day, and this right here is set as day 5 for me as to suit my schedule right now, but of course I would do arms last anyways. So click onto leg day, and here is how it goes. And there we have leg day. Like I mentioned before, day 3 is rest day or recovery day, where you might do stretching. And now we move on to day 4, HIIT or high intensity interval training, as well as total body. And it's supposed to be day 3. So we start off with a warm up, which I do not do jumping jacks, so that is what's coming up. I do stretching, dynamic stretching, and then maybe any other cardio of your choice. Nowadays I will probably do some boxing, and then we do HIIT. So HIIT is high intensity interval training, where you have intervals where you move for a set period of time and then take a rest for a set period of time and then repeat. So I do move for 30 seconds, then rest for 30 seconds, then each is for 3 sets. So around this whole thing will take 25 minutes. I have my Fitbit watch to record. So number 1, I do jumping jacks, 3 sets, 30 seconds, 30 seconds. Then number 2, high knees. Number 3, mountain climbers. Number 4, squat jumps. Number 5, Spider-Man push-ups. Number 6, butt kicks. Number 7, bicycle sit-ups. And number 8, burpees. And this is definitely something that you can change because it is insane. So let's look through heavy midway this overview. So total body plus high intensity interval training. Here's what I do: stretching, and then here is the high intensity interval training, which I do currently. It is exactly the same. And then these are the exercises I do after. I am trying to increase the amount of exercises, but really with all of this high intensity stuff, it is completely fine. It is quite intense already. And then finish it off with stretching. It's as simple as that, sort of. So like I mentioned, this is a very hard, high intensity interval training workout. I would definitely change it and recommend changing either the time or the number of sets or even the exercises. It is quite hard, but that is how I do it. But definitely change it if I were you. Then we have all of these exercises, which I do not do all of them, but these are options in which you can do after your high intensity interval training workout for the total body, just to pump some more blood. So push-ups, close grip push-ups, diamond push-ups, V-ups, jumping lunges, pull-ups, chin-ups, planks, side planks, all of which target a number of muscles and target the total body. And finally, we finish everything off with some static stretching, which I definitely recommend doing for HIIT, as it targets every single muscle in your body and include a variety of stretches so that you will feel great afterwards. Now, day 5, arms, my favorite day. Warm up, jumping jacks. Nowadays I would just do boxing or anything to get my blood moving. Then some dynamic stretches, especially for the arms. And all of these exercises you should find online if you do not know how to do them, because form, especially for arms, is very, very important. Number 1, bicep curls. 2, crossbody hammer curl. 3, concentration curl. then seated incline curl, tricep extension, tricep dip, single arm tricep extension, diamond push-ups, fingertip holds, seated wrist curl, pull-ups, chin-ups, hand gripper, and then the Arnold press. Now this is not how I do it anymore. I have edited this workout to suit my needs, and this is all using my school bag with books inside because I do not have dumbbells, unfortunately. I will get some one day, but this is how I do it for now. If I had dumbbells, and if you do have dumbbells, there's a variety of exercises that you can do, so I definitely recommend exploring the number of exercises and make a list suited to you. Now, so for some specific reference for how I do arms right now, let's take a look. Day 2 is when I do it. And we have this all as what I do. And the last time I done this was this week. Completely updated. And that's exactly what I do, and this is customized so that I can do it myself without even any dumbbells. And if you'd like some more examples of static and dynamic stretches, here are a few notes that I found on that, and there are a lot of examples in which you can pause the video right now and take note of. So now that you have a brief idea about how to go about exercising using my example to illustrate, and stretching so on, let's talk about tools that you can use to help. So, starting off with apps. There are a variety that you can choose from. The two most common that I've seen by far is Strong and Heavy. Now, I use Heavy to track my workouts, and yes, both of them do require a subscription for premium features, but you can just use a standard app like me for the basic benefit. So both of these apps allow you to make a routine and add exercises to it, which you can basically use during your workout to track everything you do, instead of making a physical list including exercises, sets, timing, reps, etc. They also give you a large range of exercises which you can choose from. Everything is completely customizable, and they provide how you can do each exercise. I personally use Heavy rather than Strong because it's the first thing I found, and it's just much simpler to use. But don't get me wrong, both apps are great. You can make a physical list as well, like I did once, which is completely fine, just without as many benefits as apps. Then smartwatches. I did mention earlier that I do use one, and that is this Fitbit Versa 3. And so on a quick note about my smartwatch Fitbit. So here is my watch Fitbit. I go on to exercise, and I go on to anything, any workout, whatever I want to do, it's all in this. And most smartwatches will have this feature. If your Apple Watch, way better. But I click workout, I start the workout, and this will track my calories, the duration, everything you need to know, a lot of information on this, and you can connect it to your phone and get even more information, so it is very, very useful. Smart devices are actually great. They track a lot of metrics, exercises, and just the general things, and it will be even better if you can interlink all these devices and apps together, but really you do not need to make everything complicated. Now, unfortunately, I do have to kind of whisper now, but I wanted to point out one of the most important things is to stay consistent, and consistency is key, especially when it comes to exercising as well as diet, but we'll come back to that. Consistency in exercising is one of the most important things. The more consistent you are, the sooner you will start seeing results, and that is very true. I did say I started seeing results in around 3 months, and that's true. But only because I was consistent. I was dedicated and I wanted to change, and I changed, and now it's been around a year and I continue to do it. Although it doesn't bring me as benefit today, I still do it because I want to take care of my health and I want to stay healthy. So I'll say this stuff about being consistent and all, but how do you actually stay consistent? And for that, I have 6 steps which I just wrote down and will hopefully help you on staying consistent, especially throughout exercise. Number 1, every day is easier than most days, which basically means do something every day. It is much easier than doing it half the week. Do something dedicated how you have set it up. Number 2, do something every single day. Even if it's 10 push-ups, something is better than nothing. Number 3, mornings are your cheat code. I'll come back to this one, but mornings do tend to start off much better and lead you into a better day than evenings, but many people will prefer to exercise in the evening. I'll relate to this to exercise later on. Number 4, the power of peer accountability. Peer accountability, staying accountable, someone watching over you, you are much more likely to stay accountable and stick to your routine if there's someone watching over you. Number 5, use progressive overload. Again, I will come back to this, but progressive overload is very important, and increase the weight over time and you will see even faster result as well as staying consistent. And number 6, don't try to make up for a miss. A lot of people, especially even me, when I miss a day, I leave it on to another day. So try not to make it up, just skip it. So moving on to sets, reps, and duration. You want to be adding sets into your workouts because they genuinely do help you, and I learned this later on. But sets allow you to take a break period between your workouts and add a good couple of reps in between your workouts, around 20 or even 10 based on the exercise that you are doing. So it is very good to add sets and a certain number of reps suited to you in your workout because they provide a break for your muscles and also improve muscle building. And the breaks in between a workout is very good in between each exercise. You want to be customizing this break to suit your needs. So I recommend around 1 to 2 minutes break between each exercise. This can be completely based on the difficulty of the exercise. It can even go above 2 minutes, less than 1 minute, depends on you. And between each set you want to do around 30 seconds of a break, completely customizable again depending on the exercise. Another frequently asked question is about what time to do your workout, morning or evening, or whatever time you choose. Mornings provide a fresh start, you get the thing out of your way, and then you can have a free day for the rest of the day. And you'll also stay energized through the rest of the day. However, in the evenings, you might feel more energized to do the workout and you might get a better workout in, but also it might just be the perfect time for you. And really, to me, it does not matter when you do your workout. So long as it is suited to you, you can choose whenever you want. If the mornings work, do the mornings. If the evenings work, do the evenings. Whenever you get time, you should exercise. Now, related to this, I did say the mornings were your cheat code, but that is just a general consistency thing. You do not have to do it in the morning. You can do it whenever you want during the day, but mornings do provide a fresh start. I do my workout every single day at 4 o'clock after I come back from school. So moving on to progressive overload. What is progressive overload? Basically, you increase the weight, increase the resistance over time. It is as simple as that. You increase the number of reps that you do, or you increase the weight of the workout, whatever you want, you change this over time. And this is very important if you want to gain faster. But also it is very beneficial for your muscles. So I totally recommend that you do use progressive overload to your advantage. Now just a heads up, this is just a brief overview of what progressive overload looks like, but you want to be researching a bit more about this if you want to go in depth with your workout, and progressive overload is definitely something that you should do when starting. And also, just on that note of reflection, it is a very key part of working out. You don't have to do it, but it is something that can really give you insight on how you're doing, reflecting back on the past or what you're doing every single week, every single day, and recording how you do it. So what I actually do is I sit down every single 2 weeks at the end of the week and I decide for the next 2 weeks what I want to be doing in my workouts. And I increase the number of reps, weight, I increase whatever I can so that it works for me and I feel it to be harder. So this way I just don't get bored. Now about diet in relation to workouts, you want to be working out around 2 hours after you have a main meal. But of course, it's fine to have any snacks or anything, just so you don't get any stitches. Hydration then. it is very important to hydrate during a workout, after a workout, before a workout. Now, I don't really drink too much water in between my workouts, but generally I would take a sip before and plenty of water after, and that is generally what you should do. And of course, water is extremely helpful for whatever goal you're aiming at. And so, why are rest days so important? Because they allow you to recover your muscles and allows them to gain their energy back and revive itself for new strength. It's during this time that your muscles actually gain muscle. And what's more, the time you recover is in your sleep. Sleep by far is good for absolutely every reason. From mental health to physical health, it takes care of everything. Sleep is actually when your muscles gain this energy, gain your strength back, and it's when the muscles actually recover and repair so that it's ready for a new workout day. Aim for at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep every single day and try get effective sleep. Now, on targeting different muscle groups, I tend to target different areas of my body throughout the week, but you can have it mixed every single day. You can target different types, areas, whatever you want, but really make it simple for yourselves. Another key point I want to make in this video is listen to your body. And what I mean by this is pay attention to how your body reacts to your workouts, how it's developing, how it's improving. Because being aware of this is what can contribute to you building muscle. And also, on the note of goals, maybe set a specific goal you want to reach in a productive manner. Now, in this video, I won't be diving into too many of that sort of stuff. I just wanted to share my workout and inspire you to create one of your own, even using my example and editing it. And so, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the end of this video. I thank you so much for watching it, and I hope you got some value, whether it is one thing out of this video. Just use it. Stay consistent, make a routine yourselves, and stick to it using my example. You don't have to copy it, you can edit it, do whatever you want. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again as I post more exercising videos very soon.